always thought my house was normal. School, homework, dinner at 8, bed by 10. Same old routine every night. But a few weeks ago, something weird started happening. It began one night when I woke up around midnight, super thirsty. I crept out of bed and tiptoed to the kitchen, trying not to wake Mom or Dad. The house was dark and quiet, except for the ticking clock in the hallway. But as I walked past the dining room, I noticed something strange. There was a plate on the table, a sandwich, fresh, still warm. The kind Mom usually made me for lunch, but I didn't make it, and it definitely wasn't there when I went to bed. I looked around. The kitchen lights were off, no sound, no one else was awake. The next night, I woke up again, and there it was. Another plate of food, exactly in the same spot, same time. Then the third night, then the fourth. That's when I realized every night after we go to bed, someone is making food and someone might be eating it. The next day at dinner, I couldn't keep it to myself. We were all sitting at the dining table, me, Mom, and Dad, eating like everything was normal. But it wasn't. Not after what I saw. "Hey Mom, why do you make food so late at night?" She froze, just for a second, then smiled. "What do you mean?" she asked. Dad looked up. "Late at night? What's he talking about?" I leaned forward. "Like sandwiches, rice, cake. You put food on the table after bedtime." Dad chuckled. "You dreaming, champ?" "I'm not," I said. I saw her. She went to the kitchen at midnight. I watched her make a sandwich and put it right there. Mom's fork clinked. Her hand was shaking slightly. "Sometimes I just get hungry," she mumbled. "I don't want to wake anyone." Dad nodded. Mystery solved. But I knew she was lying. She always tapped her fingers when she lied. Tap, tap, tap. That night, Dad called me into his room. "I heard something last night. Laughter. In the dining room. Not your mom's." He had installed a small camera in the hallway. We watched the footage together. 2:12 a.m. Mom walked into the kitchen, made a sandwich, and placed it on the same corner of the table. She paused, stared at one chair, whispered something, then left. A full minute later, screech, the chair slid back, slowly, like someone invisible was sitting down. No one else came in, but a few minutes later, the sandwich was gone. We stared in silence. Then Dad whispered, "You weren't imagining things." That night I heard my parents talking in their room. Dad said, "You never told me we had Mom." "Shh, do you want him to hear?" Dad was like, "I showed him the chair moving." Silence. Mom said, "He's our son too, Mark. The forgotten one. I never meant for it to go this far." Dad was, "You've been feeding something we buried 13 years ago." Mom with low voice said, "He never left. You just stopped seeing him." I stepped back. A floorboard creaked. The door opened. Mom stood there, pale, red-eyed. "You shouldn't have watched," she said. She walked past me, toward the kitchen. Dad followed. Then I heard it. The sound of the sandwich being unwrapped. And another voice, small, echoey, right next to